Hey everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn. I've got a new friend over here. Just met him a few weeks ago, but I'm really looking forward to chatting with him. Of course, Paul Novak, partner at Whitman Peterson. Before we get started, I'd like to say thanks to our friends over at Unifocus, technology that drives value. Check them out at unifocus.com. Paul, what I like about you and what I like learning about you is that you're thinking differently than what everyone else is doing out there. A lot of our industry seems to be copy, paste, but you are creating the template that other people, I think, are copying from.
Yeah, I really enjoy being on the creative side of the hospitality industry, and I guess I got it from being involved in the creation of the Courtyard product and rolling out the first 225 Courtyards, which back in the 80s was a phenomenal undertaking.
Now, I came into the hospitality industry in 1996, and it was already established, but the whole idea of that select service was still very new.
It didn't exist,
Right.
other than the traditional Holiday Inns, Ramadas, but they were really more like medium-sized full-service hotels because they all had full-service restaurants, often had bellman service and that kind of stuff. And Courtyard was one of the very first to come along where we eliminated a lot of that stuff. So over my career, I've always enjoyed trying to come up with new concepts or new ideas within the industry. Most recently, within the last couple of years, I worked very closely with both Hilton and Marriott to help them get themselves into the economy or mid-price segment. And the work that I did with them led to the creation of Studio Res for Marriott and Live Smart for Hilton.
Wow.
Both of which we are now major developers of the
course.
product.
Yeah, I mean, you're not just going to come up with the idea and then let's...
No, exactly. Exactly.
I also, when I was down, I had the opportunity to go visit Hilton's showroom in Nashville a few weeks ago, where I came on to AutoCamp, and it's the first time I saw that.
Yes.
Folks have been investing in that for about 5 years now. And not only is that a cool original idea, but then finding a way to partner with Hilton for added consumer distribution, also like a cool idea on top of an idea.
Yeah. I would love to take the credit for creating the concept of AutoCamp, but
the point is you're thinking differently and finding those investments that fit that idea.
Exactly. And we helped the founding partners of AutoCamp learn how to institutionally grow a brand new brand in a new segment that's really in its infancies. And what we were finding as we grew and became more geographically distributed across the country, it was harder and harder for us to create that awareness amongst the customer. When AutoCamp started, it was focused primarily on California because the first two, Yosemite, Russian River, were in California. So they could really focus on that social media aspect of California. As soon as we stepped out of California, we went to Cape Cod, we went to upstate New York in the Catskills, we worked to Utah, for Zion. A lot of that began to change, and trying to develop that customer base in different geographical areas was much more difficult. And so we finally reached the conclusion that we needed a major distribution vehicle to drive that demand. And at NYU last year, we're here at NYU today. At NYU last year, I sat down with Chris Nassetta, the CEO at Hilton, and said, would you ever consider doing an affiliation with an outdoor lodging company, which was completely out of the realm of anything that they do, because they're strictly typical traditional hotels.
And indoors.
And he totally gravitated to it. And we proceeded to have discussions over the next 6 months and ended up with a relationship where we actually have a direct affiliation with Hilton. We're on their reservation system worldwide now. And so And that just went live yesterday for all 6 properties that are open. The other 2 properties that are under construction, Sequoia and Asheville, will come on as they open. But we're very, very excited about that. And just building that awareness and being able to reach out to 190 million Hilton Honors guests is just an incredible vehicle.
It sure is. All right, before we wrap up, I have to ask you, what is the right mindset to get into so you think differently from a creative point of view and don't do what everyone else is doing just because they're doing that?
Having the guts to step out and just, if you get an idea, float the idea, see if it has legs. In many cases, you may not have an idea that does pan out, but more frequently than not, you do. And I think, Shark Tank is a great example of that. And it applies to all kinds of industries, particularly can apply to the hospitality industry. And you don't just have to create the same old for everybody. You can get out of your box and think differently.
Beautiful. I absolutely love it. Paul Novak, thank you so much for being here. I'm Glenn Hausman. Make sure you subscribe. Text the word hotel to 66866. Be sure to check out the all-new NoVacancyNews.com. Thanks, guys. See you another time.